Last episode, I added obsidian armor in Minecraft, and I said that I'm gonna add custom dungeons in this one. But however, I am freaking terrible and can't seem to get this to work. So let's add custom enchantments instead. So I actually added custom enchantments. Right now the sword has Thunder Striker 5. Very cool. So right now if we go back to our old friend Iron Golem, it'll strike him. How cool is that? Oh my god. Now I'm gonna go because I probably will die due to the fire damage. I'm pretty sure it's obtainable in survival because it's an enchantment. It's uncommon. Oh, there we go. Thunder Striker 2. I wonder if I can get 5. So yeah. We'll come back. Basically, I spent the last 5 hours doing nothing, and in the past 5 minutes, I added compressed cookies. It's like cookie, but it's a square. Big brain, it's still like humongo brain, and it stores 5 hunger bars. Compressed cookies, like look at them. Look at them. This is square cookies. You can now craft the compressed cookies. So not only did I added the recipe for compressed cookie, I also added, I think, a very cool enchantment. Health Drainer. So let me just flash all the bottles. And we come to our lovely anvil with an obsidian sword, which I added last episode, which you should check out by the way. And the health drainer, we can now get health drainer obsidian sword. I mean, that's common sense, but what does it do? Well, it does exactly what you think. So if I summon an iron golem, usually we will die because iron golem is pretty cool, pretty OP. However, with health drainer, we're able to restore our health upon hit. So basically, we don't lose health, we just be there forever. We're like a tank. So Snowy, how much does it restore exactly? So I'm very low, and hit it once. So if you're very low, 3 hearts. We go back by a lot. How many? I don't know yet. The editing Snowy will tell you. So what does this effect do? Basically, per every level you have, it's gonna apply instant health effect to you for 1 second. If it's health drainer 1, it's instant health 1. Health drainer 2, instant health 2. You get the point. So we'll come back. I added so that you can smelt the emerald to get emerald ingot. I mean, this is pretty dumb because why would you smelt emerald to get ingot? This will be changed in the future. Now once you get a lot of ingot, you can craft tools like what you do with obsidian, and I think it's pretty cool. The enchantability of emerald, if you are new here, you don't know what enchantability is. Enchantability is basically how good your enchantment will be when you enchant it. This is the same with gold, so that means it's pretty high. So I added a few more enchantments. There's the heavy strike, there's the swift strike, void, and freeze. I also made a few changes. Thunder Striker, no longer called Thunder Striker, but Thunder Strike. This was called Health Drainer. I think Health Steel is a lot better name. Yeah. So I made all of them, so none of them has in it or R because I don't want it to sound like, oh, like Skywalker. No, it's like Skywalk. It's cooler. So what this does, Heavy Strike will apply anvil damage. So if you an anvil fall on your head, it's like the same damage as Heavy Strike. Swift Strike is when you fly into a wall, so kinetic energy. And then there's Void, which adds void damage, and Freeze, which adds freezing damage. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. The Freeze is gonna take Freeze 5, take about 2.5 hearts on a wooden sword. Now a normal wooden sword will take 2 hearts, so the Freeze 5 doesn't really do anything. Up to the calcination, 2.5 hearts. Really doesn't do anything. And then there's also the void. The void, which takes about 2 hearts. And then there's the vacuum, 3 hearts. And then there will be the swift strike, 3 hearts. Heavy strike, 3 hearts. So if you remembered, our sword was void 2 and all those maximum enchantments, it only deals like, what, a tiny little bit more damage? That's lame. It's a rare enchantment, deals only such damage. So I spiced things up a little bit. So right now, by a little bit, I mean void 2? That's what void 2 is now. And every other thing with maximum enchantment, no armor, it's all one tab. So to properly test everything, let me give myself a command block. That's a lot, 15 hearts. Okay, now let's test out Freeze 2, Freeze 5. Freeze 5 will have 12 hearts, and I believe that will be the same with Calcination 5. So Calcination 5 will take out 12.5 heart. And then there's Swift Strike. Swift Strike will take out a lot of hearts. And then we'll have the Heavy Strike will take out 15 hearts. So I just added another, I think, very fun enchantment. Tank. How many hits do you think I will need to get this iron golem to crack? Right now we're let's turn it to a peaceful first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is default for wooden sword. But what if I tell you I can increase the damage by doing nothing to the sword, by just doing this? 1, 2, 3. So what this enchantment does, basically, it's gonna take your armor value, which in this case is 21.0. So if it's tank 1, it's gonna take this 21.0 and apply it to your enemy. But what if it's tank 2? It's taking this, multiplying it by 2, and applying it to your enemy. Basically means the better your armor is, the more damage this will have. Right now this is very OP. I'm pretty sure I will nerf this in the future. Just kidding, I just nerfed it. Ha ha ha. So now if I were to summon an iron golem, remember how we made it cracked by 1 hit? Guess how many hits we need now? I actually don't know. 1, 2, 3. Now it takes 3 hits. So now what this does is instead of taking your armor point and multiply it by 2, which right now we have 21, it's gonna take your armor point, multiply it by 20%. So if you have 21 multiplied by 20% is 4.2, and then 4.2 will be multiplied by your level. So right now we have 2, so it's gonna be extra 8.4 damage. If you have 1, that'll just be 4.2. Pretty interesting, huh? I will add armor with more armor points in the future, so this tank can be more and more OP. But you know one thing that's also very cool about those enchantments is that you are able to download it. All you have to do is like and subscribe and go to the link in the description. It's available for you to download on Morins and Morins. Yeah, that's it for this video. If you like it, make sure to like and sub as I said before, and I'll see you in our next video.